Yo, welcome PC fan. Welcome to the Chill with Chill show. Happy to have y'all, like always. It's a beautiful Wednesday. Chill Town, how's it going?
Great, brother. We good,
Yeah, I
man.
mean
We good.
the people ain't get to see you today. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have the panel this morning like we typically do.
hmm
So I chill with chill. That's
We
what we're
back in
going.
effect. We
Yeah,
back in
so we're gonna
effect.
get it on.
hmm No
Um,
doubt.
to waste no time. This portion of the midseason tournament, or in-season tournament, I'm sorry, is behind us. Now we
hmm
have the 8 teams that are moving forward. Great
Knocked out.
games, great stuff going on. Um, how are you feeling about it? I've heard you say already. You kind of, they're kind of selling you.
They are Big Ox.
Yeah.
I really feel like this in-season tournament is just so much better for basketball than what I thought it was going to be. I just thought it was a money grab. I like the brackets. I like how it all turned out. I like how even though you got better teams or teams that are doing better in the regular season, they're taking this in-season tournament seriously, and you see the effect that it's having on everybody. So, for example, with Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
with Minnesota being the best in, I mean, they got the number one seed in the Western Conference, but they're a wild card in the tournament,
Mm.
and they're a wild
No,
card
no,
in the.
no. They're not. The Suns are the wild card. The Minnesota didn't make the tournament.
That's what I mean. That
Yeah.
Minnesota didn't. I don't mean that wild card. Minnesota did not make the tournament. This is what I. That's what I mean. The fact that they did not make the tournament, the fact that they're the number one seed in the Western Conference, they got the best record in the West, but then they turn around and not make the tournament. How this works? Because I had to explain this earlier today. How this works? The in-season tournament is separate, even though, excuse me, even though these games count towards your record, it's still separate from the regular season. It's something completely different. And when you lose, which Minnesota, they ended up losing on points. It wasn't the record. They ended up losing on points. And I mean, it matters how many points you score. You and I, you had alluded to this before, Big Ox, and it does make sense. I wasn't tripping on it, but I wouldn't mind seeing it a little bit more. The fact that you play till the game's over. I mean, if we up by 50, don't let us get up by 50. That's how we get to the bottom of that. We up by 30. Don't let us get up by 30, because we're gonna play until the game is over, and that's really it. So this brand of basketball that I saw, this in-season tournament, I think is fantastic. The game that I enjoyed the most was your boys. Even though
Hmm.
Minnesota and Oklahoma City, it was right there, Big Ox. Minnesota and Oklahoma City were right there. I'm going to get to that. But your boys last night, what I saw a band of guys who weren't shooting the basketball particularly well, but hung in there and stuck to the plan. That was the most important thing. The fact that Monk didn't shoot not Monk, I'm sorry. Fox didn't shoot the basketball particularly well, right? Not having Keegan Murray, Trey Lyles not shooting the ball that well, but you got Harrison Barnes doing his job. Sabonis looking good, then not looking good. But you guys hung in there. You guys played defense at the end, right? You guys hung around, which is the most important thing when you're talking about, especially in pro basketball, because the game is so fast. 11 points could be shaved in half in less than a minute. So the fact that you guys are down 24 at one point and then going into the fourth, you down 11, I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm not sure that this game's over. I don't know if this game is completely over. And then I was able to catch the rest of it on replay, because I ain't gonna lie, Big Ox, I fell asleep last night. But I was able to catch it. I was able to catch it on replay, right? I was able to catch it on replay this morning and seeing the end of it and seeing how your boys fought, right?
Yeah.
Seeing how Sabonis stayed in there. And the fact that Malik Monk, I should have been surprised, but I seen him come off the bench and do this. I've seen that before. I seen him come off the bench and get cooking. I've seen him come off the bench and light fire. So whoever is in front of them, it doesn't make a difference who it is. And because it doesn't make a difference, I mean, they were huge last night. They were absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I enjoyed what I saw when I turned the game on, because I didn't catch the game until like the end of the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And it was ugly already. It was
It
ugly,
was.
and I couldn't believe it. I'm in the group chat. I'm like, yo, what happened? Did Malik get hurt? Like, why is Malik not in the game right now? I'm asking, like, what's going on? Is Malik hurt? You know, I'm looking up, like, did Malik get hurt at all? Why isn't he in right now? Keegan's not playing, you know. But as much as I want to praise Malik, I gotta shout out Sasha Vezenkov. I was saying, you know, before the season, I knew it would be games like this where he would come off the bench and really make a big difference. And then Trey Lyles finally being healthy. I don't think people really understand Trey Lyles is really like our backup center, especially because we go to that small ball lineup quite often. And so Trey Lyles is so important to us. Malik Monk, I was trying to say on the panel, you know, remember during the offseason, we were talking about the benches of the teams. Yeah. I think personally we have a top 3 second unit. I won't say bench, I'll say second unit, because as you know, a lot of times in second units, you still have 1 or 2 starters out there with the guys. So our second unit, I think, is top 3. But
and you was in earlier this year, and even in the summertime, you were selling me the Euro Sasha, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I've seen EuroLeague players. Luka comes from the EuroLeague, right? You've had a number of different guys come from the EuroLeague. So you sell me this kid, Sasha from the EuroLeague. Yo, chill. He can shoot the basketball with the best of them. He can stretch the defense with the best of them. But I'm thinking, I'm still kind of stuck on my Euro logic, you know. But ultimately, he gets in, and number one, he is not scared to shoot, Big Ox. Be clear about that. Not only is he not scared to shoot, he's not scared to shoot in big moments. That's the thing. It's not like I'm just out here and, well, I'll shoot one when I'm open, or I'll shoot one if you kick it to me. No, he's actually asking for the basketball in transition, in the half court. He's asking for the basketball. I think you got some good minutes at a Herder too. He actually is starting to pick it up, because he wasn't shooting the basketball good at all previously. Right. The fact that he's starting to shoot the basketball better, particularly in transition and his stop and pop, I really dig that about him. I think that Golden State did a good job early of slowing you guys down, right? I think that they did a good job early of slowing you guys down. Then your defense actually started to pick up, where you were able to speed the game back up. That's where it happened, in the middle of the third quarter and then into the fourth quarter. And the fact that I believe it was either the third quarter or the fourth quarter where you held them to 19 points. And the fact that you held them to 19 points and Monk got going. Right, the fact that Monk got going, they lose Gary Payton, they lose Chris Paul, which I'm not surprised about that at all, to be honest with you.
Chris Paul.
I'm not really surprised that they lost Chris Paul, because Chris Paul's got some age on him, and he is who he is. And I actually expect this sort of thing throughout the course of the rest of the season. But with that being said, Sacramento, the way that they handled themselves at the end, that late, the middle of the third quarter to the end of the game, where they just started to pick it up defensively and slow them down. I thought that they forced Klay Thompson into a lot of tough shots. Not only did they force him into a lot of tough shots, him also and Steph Curry into a lot of tough shots. We all know that Draymond Green is going to be the guy that they make shoot, that they'll live with him shooting the basketball. He made some good shots. He made some big shots for them. But the guy that I thought that they did a really good job on was Klay Thompson. Even though you saw what you saw out of Andrew Wiggins, I thought that they made him make some tough shots.
Andrew was balling last night. Andrew was balling last night. Yes, he did. And I know we're gonna in a little bit we're gonna talk a little bit about Klay a little more, but I want to say I wasn't mad at what I saw from Klay Thompson last night. What I will say is I'm just very disappointed in Draymond Green.
Why is that?
Now, you know, I don't much care for the guy. I don't care for his antics. He shouldn't have. I think the ref was a little quick to give him that tech last night. But I know there's a reason, because I know Draymond was talking, saying things to him the whole game, and finally the ref was fed up and gave him that tech. I don't think I would like to say that if I was that ref, I wouldn't have done that. I would like to say that. But for him to react again the next way and come and just hack Malik, and you know, and then Steve had to sit him down.
Right.
Draymond Green is a very important piece to the Warriors. They can't have you on the bench while the Kings are making a comeback, because the Kings were making a comeback with firepower. We're just boom, boom, we're at you. So Draymond Green needs to be in that game. Right. So for you to force your head coach to have to put you on the bench because you couldn't compose yourself, I think that was the turning point in the game because we were having little runs in the second half. We were having little runs, but sorry,
you good?
Andrew Wiggins was putting the fire out. Moody put the fire out a few times, but we kept trying to make little runs, and then that stint right there with Draymond, I think that was what our arena needed first. As you know, Chilltown, we got one of the loudest arenas. We got one of the loudest arenas in the country.
Yeah,
a lot of energy. I think that was the turning point in the game. I'm disappointed in Draymond Green for not being able to maintain his composure right there. Well, I'm happy he didn't, but
of course. And I think we at a point now where this is something that's expected from Draymond. At some point during the season, this is going to happen because we know who he is. We know that he's going to have a meltdown. We know that the momentum's going to swing where he's going to do something wrong, right? Where he's going to do something wrong, and it could quite possibly cost his team, whether he gets tossed, whether he gets a technical foul, something like that is going to happen when it courtesy of Draymond. But with Klay, I thought they did a good job of not just chasing him off the long ball line. I thought they did a good job of making him guard because Klay doesn't really move like he used to, and we're gonna get to Klay. But I thought Sacramento did a good job in making him guard off the basketball, not just standing around. I thought that your boys, I don't know what was the free throw line radioactive, Big Ox? What was going on last night?
We tried to miss every free throw.
I didn't understand that. I mean, you got a lead guard in Fox who barely shot 50% from the free throw line last night. And I'm thinking to myself, young fella, we need you if you're going to be at the free throw line, you have to convert of all the people because you're our primary ball handler. So if this game gets close and they got a foul, you got to go to the free throw line. You got to stick free throws. And the fact that he didn't do that, I mean, that's a telltale sign of, and y'all still won. That's a telltale sign of how good you guys actually played. And Monk made some tough shots, man. Yeah. To go at Wiggins like that, because I'd like to think Wiggins is one of the better defenders in the game. And Monk has one of those games, man. Once he gets going, he's pretty difficult to deal with. Man. And he got going last night. It was, especially in that fourth quarter, and it was too late because, like you said, your boys put the fire out. You had Wiggins put the fire out at some stretch. Then you had Steph put the fire out at a stretch. But with that being said, once your boys got going late in the third, in the middle of the fourth, it was too late. Now we got a 2-possession game. It's too late now. Now we got a dog fight. And Big Ox, I've been raised, man. It's nothing worse than being in a dog fight and not realizing you're in a dog fight until it's too late. And that's what ultimately happened last night. I think the Kings wouldn't roll over, even though they were in the tournament regardless. Even though they were going to be in the quarterfinals, I think that the fact that they didn't roll over, it wore on Golden State, and it wore on them tremendously.
I think so. There was a few things I liked. One thing I do like is the adjustment for Mike Brown putting De'Aaron Fox on Draymond Green.
He was not prepared for that. No, he was not prepared for that, Big Ox, and he really didn't know what to do with Fox on him. Because 9 times out of 10, Dre's gonna run the offense. Sometimes Dre gets downhill. Sometimes Dre will get downhill. Sometimes Dre will shoot when he's wide open. Sometimes, not all the time. But when Fox got switched on him, he now sees a smaller guy in front of him who defends. He didn't really know how to actually handle that, which was mind-boggling to me because Draymond has had smaller guys on him before and handled it well. But that switch was a big deal. Huge deal.
Yeah. So that was a great one. Love that game, obviously. Love the outcome. But what about Minnesota and OKC? How'd you feel about that game?
I'm going on record right now, Big Ox. I'm saying it on November the 29th in 2023. I think right now the Minnesota Timberwolves are the best team in the Western Conference. I'm saying it. I'm loving what I'm seeing from them. No Jaden McDaniels. They hold that Oklahoma City team to under 100 points. Don't let that 103 at the end fool you, right? They held them to under 100 points. And defensively, Rudy Gobert looked like Rudy Gobert from 2018, 2019, 2021. He looked like that Rudy Gobert.
Love to see this Rudy.
Oh, I loved it, Big Ox. Man in the paint, clean and glass. Cat actually looks like the guy that they've been asking for. But he doesn't look like he feels like he's got a lot of pressure on him. He just looks like he's balling. And it doesn't look like it's something where, yo, I have to do this. He doesn't look like that at all. He looks like a guy that's just rocking within the flow of the game. And because he's rocking within the flow of the game, they just look fantastic. Anthony Edwards, I'm having a difficult time. And I challenge, even though this year the All-NBA team is positionless, I challenge you to keep him off the first team All-NBA. I'm challenging you to do it. I'm sure he's going to make All-NBA. I'm sure he's going to make the All-League team this year. I'm not on the fence about that. But I challenge you to keep him off the All-NBA first team this year, considering what he does, not just on the offensive side of the basketball, but on the defensive side of the basketball too. I challenge you to keep him off the All-League, the first team All-NBA. I thought that they did a good job overall. Rudy did a great job on Chet, keeping him out of the paint. Now, there was a sequence, right? There was a sequence where Rudy basically took Chet out of the game, and then the very next play, Chet dunks on him. So of course people will see that and go, well, Rudy's not playing defense. That's gonna happen, right? That's gonna happen. Rudy was helping. Chet gets the ball dropped off to him. He was helping. He gets the ball dropped off to him. In the process of him getting the ball dropped off to him, he ends up punching it on him. But Chet was not nearly as effective as I've seen him in the past against Rudy. He was not. He was having to make really tough shots. Not only was he having to make really tough shots on the backboard, how Rudy was. I think Rudy I think he made a conscious effort to go after him. And I like the two-man game between both Rudy and Cat. And Mike Conley, who knows Rudy because he had him in Utah, I think that he was making another effort to get Rudy more involved in the game. One of the things that I found out with Rudy, when you get him involved in the game, like any other big man, he rebounds more. He rim protects more. There's a lot more energy with him. Even though he does that anyway, right, Big Ox? He's effective in that aspect anyway. But when you involve him more in the game, when he's a rim runner, Anthony Edwards is dropping it off to him in the post. When he's got a smaller guy behind him, I saw him get switched on. Shea Alexander gets switched on to him, and he drops the ball into him in the post. So when you having stuff like that going on, right? When you have stuff like that going on, and you got a big guy playing like that, it's going to be. They look like they're on their way to really challenging in the Western Conference. Don't get me wrong. I'm still on record, Big Ox, saying that Denver is the team to beat in the Western Conference. But I heard Bruce Brown say that they had the most difficult time they had last year in the playoffs was with Minnesota. And now you see both Rudy and Cat together healthy. You actually see how this dynamic between these guys is working offensively, plus defensively, how much of the burden and how much pressure he takes off Cat and how much he helps guys like Anthony Edwards. And they don't have Jaden McDaniels. They haven't gotten Jaden McDaniels back in the lineup. How much better they're going to be. I'm liking what I'm seeing, man.
Let me just list off. Let me give a quick list of names real quick. Yep. Let me think. Joker, Giannis, Joel, JT, Luka. I'd have to say De'Aaron.
Okay.
I'm forgetting somebody. Who am I forgetting?
KD.
Devin Booker, KD.
Booker.
Right. I'm naming these names. I'm pretty sure you know why. Those are all a whole list of guys that he has to beat out for that first team All-NBA.
Yep.
Now, if they finish first seed in the West, by all means, he deserves it. But let's say they finish fourth in the West.
I still think he's an All-NBA performer, but where he is right now, it's going to be hard to keep him off. I think last year with Shea and Luka, with both of those guys not making the playoffs, I think that's an outlier. I don't think that that's something that's the norm. I don't think that that's something that we're going to see on the regular. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is him and Luka are the first guards since not the first guards. They're the first players since Anthony Davis to make first team All-NBA and his team not make the playoffs. And Anthony Davis did it.
Ridiculous.
And Anthony Davis did it. He was an all-league defender. So the fact that them two dudes made it without their teams making the playoffs, I think that's an outlier. To be honest with you, what I see right now, I think I don't think that that's something that you're gonna see on the regular, because winning has always mattered when you're talking about being an All-Pro. Always mattered, especially being a first-team All-Pro. So those guys that you named, sure, Big Ox, if Minnesota drops to the 4th or the 5th seed, okay, we having a different conversation. If the season ended today, it's going you're gonna have a difficult time selling me that Anthony Edwards is not a first-team All-NBA performer. You're gonna have a real difficult time selling me that. Even and I'm a Donovan Mitchell. I'm not a Donovan Mitchell apologist. I'm a Donovan Mitchell fan, 100%. But I'm having a difficult time with the idea that this guy is not first-team All-NBA.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see. Let's get some of the fellas up here from the back. What's up, Tim? We was just talking about your boys.
What up, Uncle Jill, Big Ox? What's good?
What up?
Chilling, man. I was watching that Kings game last night, man. That was a good ass win, Big Ox. But I got a question though, man. How does Steve Kerr, man, take out Moses Moody in that game, man?
I didn't understand that. That part was what I was trying to figure out. I understand him going back to Wiggins. I understand him going back to Curry, because now it was I think less than 6 minutes left. So now this is the meat and potatoes of the game, and you got a dogfight. So I understand him going back to Curry, and I understand him going back to Wiggins. What I didn't understand was Moody had it going, and when you got a guy who's shooting it like that, I don't think he missed a shot. Not only did he not miss, I don't think he missed a shot, and in the process of him not missing a shot, he was playing good defense. Yeah. He was playing good defense. If there's anything that I can give off of that, Big Ox, I think what he was doing, he was trying to keep Klay's confidence. Because if he doesn't, he could, the way Klay was shooting last night, 3 for 9 on the long ball. Even though he was 6 for 14 from the floor, 3 for 9 on the long ball, the shots that he was missing, those are the shots that he would make 2-3 years ago. I understand that. So I think that he was afraid of losing Klay. That's what I don't think he had to take
Klay out. He could have just went small. He could have just put Draymond at the 5. He could have put Wiggins at the 4, Moody at the 3, Klay at the 2, and Curry at the 1. I'm not understanding. He had no reason to get taken out of that game. And the explanation I seen on Twitter, the reason why Curry took him out of the game was BS, though, man. I don't know what's up with Curry, man, and his pride, though, but he should not have taken Moody out of that game under any circumstances.
I just felt like he was rolling, and I thought that the way he was rolling, he had momentum, which gave the crew momentum. And if you go small, here's the problem, though, Tim. If you go small, now what you're doing is you risking Sabonis, because as good as, don't get me wrong, as good as Draymond is, and as tough as Draymond is, and as smart as Draymond can be, at the end of the day, Sabonis is 6'10", and he a glass cleaner.
He is.
He a glass cleaner. And the last thing that I want to do is I want to have 5 small guys on the floor with Sabonis. I don't want that, because now what I'm doing is I'm risking putbacks, right? I'm risking mismatches. I'm risking smaller guys picking up fouls, risking that kind of stuff. And I don't want to do that. So on the one hand, I get not taking Moody out, but I understand that going small wasn't the plan neither.
I can definitely agree with that. And on your Anthony Edwards take, though, man, I don't think he's gonna get first team this year, Uncle Chill. Man. Because remember when the Jazz were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, Donovan Mitchell didn't even make an All-NBA team, did he?
Not one team. No, he did not.
And he was averaging like 25 a game or something like that. Anthony Edwards, he averaging 26 this year, 26, 5 and 5.
Yep.
But that first team, since it's positionalist, man, it's gonna be tough. I can see second team, but that first team, though, man, it's gonna be tough because you got Giannis, Joker, Embiid, Curry, Shea, Fox.
Curry go ahead of him. He go ahead this season. Yeah, he go ahead of Curry. For sure, he go ahead of Curry. I think he may go ahead of Fox too. And the reason why is because I'm thinking about on the defensive side of the basketball, we are having a conversation about Anthony Edwards being an all-league defender this year. Yeah. That's a serious conversation about him being an all-league defender. So when you playing at that level, it's and you looking at the other guards playing at that level, like Shea, Shea might be the only other guy playing at that all league level in terms of a defender.
Yeah.
To be a first team All NBA performer, Shea might be the only other guy.
Yeah. My last question, you can tell is man, when I watch Anthony Edwards on defense, he's great on ball, but man, you gotta watch him off ball though, man. Like he gets, I be just like damn, bro. Like he get back cut it. A guy drive past him. Like it's like he's an amazing on ball defender, but his off ball defense, man, is kind of still in question.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of great defenders like that. Jordan was not good off the ball. Jordan, you could catch Jordan sleeping a lot. Kobe Bryant was not good off the ball. You could catch Kobe sleeping a lot. There's plenty of great. There's Kawhi Leonard off the basketball. He was not very good, even in his prime years. He was not great off the ball. You could catch Leonard with his head turned. You could catch Leonard sleeping. That could definitely happen.
I'd be just like, bro, what are you doing? You know, he'd just get moved right by. I'm like, but yeah, it was good talking to y'all though, man. But my Timberwolves, they looking real good. They looking solid though, man. So hopefully, man, we can keep it going. I know you've seen that play with Anthony Edwards. He tried to drive in and got undercut a little bit and hurt his hip. So he's gonna probably be out for a few games. You know what I'm saying? I think they said he's gonna miss like the next 2 games. We got the Jazz and Charlotte. So you know, so man.
I think it's a bruised hip. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's a bruise. So
they said it's a Chris Finch said it's a hip contusion.
Yeah, it's a bruise. He had a bruised hip. So if this was the playoffs, he'd be playing.
Oh hell yeah, he would have came back in that game.
Yeah.
If that was the playoff game yesterday, we ain't sitting out. But and what's so crazy is Chris Finch said he wanted to come back, but they told him like, nah, you good.
Sometimes you got to be saved from yourself, Tim.
Oh,
yes.
But
sometimes because he would have definitely came back in the game, even though when it first happened, I mean, he could hardly stand up.
Yeah.
But he just needed to sit down for a minute. It was like, all right, I'm good. I'm ready to rock and roll now. Yeah. Like I said, if this was the playoffs, he would definitely play. 100% he would.
Yeah, but appreciate y'all though, Uncle Tim.
Yep. You know where to find us at, brother. No doubt. What up?
Yo, what's up? How you feeling?
What's up, brother?
Man, one thing y'all forgot about the Kings game. Malik, he did get injured. I know you ain't here right now, but he did get injured in the second quarter. That's what messed up a lot of the rotations because Mike Brown, I'm guessing he didn't expect him to go out, and he was playing good. Like he started off the game good. Like De'Aaron Fox was letting him and Sabonis do they pick and roll. He was sitting off, letting him do what he needs to do. But then he got injured, so that's why the Warriors kind of went on a big run. Even though the Warriors did start off hot, no matter what. Klay started off good the first half. Steph started off decent the first half. Andrew Wiggins started off good the first half, but that injury messed them up. And then when he got back, they just, like you said, they just kept fighting. Like the Kings, they just kept fighting. Like they did. Like they went on runs. They got to like 12. The Warriors, they hit a 3 or 2. It go back to 18. They'll come back. They get it to 11. They get it back to 15. And they just kept cutting it down. Kept cutting it down.
And I think the difference also one of the main differences is they kept the pressure on Golden State defense, like De'Aaron Fox going downhill, right? Yeah. Malik Monk going downhill. Even though Sasha was knocking down the long ball, the fact that they was going downhill, that was huge because they was getting to the stripe. And when you get into the stripe, you start to wear on the defense. And I think that's what happened to Golden State last night. They started to wear on that defense. Wearing on that defense kind of started stuff like with Draymond turning the basketball over because mentally he's drained now because I'm getting beat up physically. So mentally, same thing with Klay Thompson. Mentally, I'm getting drained because these guys are beating up on us physically. Yeah, getting to the basket.
The second half, he missed he was like 1 for 12 the second half. Klay, like when you missing shots like that and they coming back, it's hard to get back into your groove, man.
It is. Like, it 100% is. And I think that this Golden State team, I think that there's some real issues on this crew.
Especially since GP and CP just got injured. Since both of them got injured, now they guard up. Now Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody will have to play more.
Right.
But they don't play the guard position. So it's like they're missing their guard off the position that they've been needing, who they got, which is Chris Paul. So,
and on top of that, a guy like Gary Payton, the energy that he brings on the defensive end, they don't have nobody else like that.
That was one of the reasons why they lost yesterday too.
Yes,
I'm not gonna lie. I believe if he would have stayed in the game, they would have won because the defense and the offense that he was bringing, like I don't know if you watched like you said you kind of fell asleep at the end of the game, but
I caught it today. I caught it on.
Well,
replay.
yeah, it was this one play basically where the Warriors missed. It was Harrison Barnes. He passed the ball up. Gary Payton stole it and won. Took the energy out the whole building. Like
that was a huge moment because the Kings was on a run.
They was on a run. Yeah, they
was on a run.
Took them out the whole run. The whole building was quiet after that.
Or in the words of Big Ox.
Down. Yep, exactly. It was crazy.
In the words of Big Ox, that was another fire that was just put out, right? Because I think at that point they were on like a 6-7-0 run, and they were up by, I think they were up by maybe 12. I think they were up by 12. Harrison Barnes gets the rebound on the right block.
Yep.
Yeah, and he pitches it out, and Gary
I don't know
Payton
how he didn't see him though.
I don't know neither.
I was looking. I'm like, how you didn't see him lurking? He's like right. He wasn't like, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't see him either. So I'm happy with what I see with not Golden State, with Sacramento. I like their team, man. I do. What they showed that even when we're not making shots, we could still hang around and we won't roll over, which is what I felt like Golden State expected them to do. Golden State expect like, damn, these dudes still here. We're in the middle of the fourth quarter. We had them 24 down. Then we got the lead back up to 18. Then they cut it to 11. And then now it's back up to 16. Damn, when are these dudes going to roll over? No, they're not.
They also thought because they was missing some of their guys, like Keegan Murray and Malik Monk got injured, and Sabonis, he wasn't having a good game offensively. They thought, they just going to roll over. It's going to be good. But the role players, they came to play. Everybody came to play.
Yes, they did.
Everybody pitched it. Even though De'Aaron Fox, it took him a while, like, to really get going for real. Like, no matter what, he just stayed in the game. Everybody stayed in the game, and I don't know how they fought back. And I'm like, I literally watched this game from start to finish. I don't know how they fought back and won, but man, I'm just looking like it's crazy.
Well, number one, I thought they did a good job in taking care of the basketball. So a team like Golden State, that was one of the things that kept them in the game. They weren't turning the ball over that much. They were missing shots. Don't get me wrong. They were doing that, and they weren't efficient from the free throw line. But they didn't turn the ball over that much. So because they didn't turn
it over a lot,
that's the difference right there. The fact that the Warriors
20-something turnovers. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. I think Sacramento, they had 19 turnovers for the game. But when we got late in the game, like late in the third quarter and then in the fourth quarter, they were taking care of the basketball. And when they did miss a shot or when they did turn the ball over, they were great in transition. Because you and I both know Golden State feeds off mistakes. They don't just feed off missed shots. They feed off turnovers. They feed off stuff like that. So when you're taking care of the basketball, you lessen their chances to get back in the game. You lessen your chances to get buried. So the fact that they just kept hanging around, and the next thing you know, that 11 turns to 8, which now turns to 5, and you're like, we can win this thing. So they were there, 100%.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Absolutely.
I didn't really catch the Lakers game. I was mad that they lost. I was sick.
The Laker game?
Yeah, I didn't catch it, but I seen.
You ain't miss nothing. You didn't miss nothing, brother.
I'm happy I ain't watched that, man.
Yeah, you ain't miss nothing. You did.
Right on, man. Appreciate you for pulling up, though, Davion.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all letting me on.
All right, man.
All right, I'm going.
Yeah, you didn't miss. He didn't miss nothing.
Yeah. I ain't catch that one either.
You ain't missed nothing either, Ox. You did. I can tell you that right now. That game was like a party that was hyped up that I went to, and then I came back like, it's a good thing you ain't go, Ox. You ain't missing.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, let's see what Tech's talking about.
What up,
Tex?
Yo, what's the word, fellas? What's going on?
What up?
Salute. What's going on, chill? Salute. Hope everybody doing all right.
What up?
So, just want to, chill. We know what's about to happen. Take that. I want the NBA to show us that Anthony Edwards is not a first All-NBA team. I already said it. This is the 3 generations of shooting guards that we're looking at. This is the 3 generations. The only person I think he's going to be in competition with is D Wade. Other than that, there's where he's going to be at. But anyways, let's get to it. Salute to the Timberwolves getting into it.
I'm on record. I think he's the best shooting guard in the game, and I'm a big Donovan Mitchell fan.
So here's the thing.
And if he ain't there yet, in another year, 2 years tops, it's going to be undisputed. That's where I think we are. That's why I think he's right at the doorstep. I think the separation between him and Donovan Mitchell is coming on the defensive end. That's where I think the separation is. But I'm on record. I think in the next year, 2 years tops, he's the best shooting guard in the game, and I don't think it's going to be a question.
100%. I did want to bring up to your attention the thing with the in-season tournament. These referees got to be making bank. They have to be. The refereeing in this tournament is ridiculous, Joe. From the tech calls to the missed calls, like it's insane. They got to be putting parlays together.
I'm watching Minnesota and OKC. I don't know her name. Referee, she's on the baseline.
Yeah.
And she's on the baseline, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it's clear that Rudy didn't hit it.
Right.
But she called it out on Rudy.
Right.
And I'm thinking, as a former referee, I'm looking at her going, you guessed that. You did not see
that wasn't with your eyes.
No,
that
you didn't. You guessed that he hit it out. That's number one. Number two, which was the worst one. Number two, when she called the offensive foul on Rudy, who was that? He tripped on Troy Brown's. He tripped on Troy Brown's foot.
Rudy wasn't even in the play. Salute to Troy Brown.
Absolutely. Rudy wasn't even in the play. Right. Rudy didn't even touch him.
Right.
He tripped on Troy Brown's foot. It was Josh Giddey. I'm sorry. That's what it was. It was Josh.
Josh Giddey.
It was Josh Giddey. And Josh Giddey tripped on Troy Brown's foot. And she called the offensive foul on Rudy. And Rudy's like, first of all, I didn't even touch him. And when they went back and saw the play, the thing about referees, you got to remember too, everything is bang bang. The great thing about instant replay is we could go back and go, did I get that right? Let's go take a look at that. I don't know if I got that right. Let's go take a look at that. However, there are calls that you have to make with your eyes.
Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's ridiculous. I have two questions though. I wanted to ask you, Chill. Now, watching the OKC game in Minnesota, is there a player comp that you have for Jalen Williams? And what do you think his ceiling is with OKC? Because I think he might be the key for them to unlock that extra level of potential, in my opinion. So what do you see as? Yeah, go ahead.
I watched Jalen Williams. He looked like a slimmer, more athletic Mashburn. That's what I see when I see him.
Okay,
that's what I'm looking at. A guy that could get downhill with the best of them, get to the rim with the best of them, knock down the mid range. He's a lot smarter than guys his age, but I think that it may look a little bit different because the league is a lot younger. Remember, Jalen Williams went to college. I think he played 4 years at Santa Clara, so he's a lot more advanced.
He's a 4-year guy. Okay,
yeah, he went to Santa Clara, so he's a lot more advanced than some of these other guys. With that being said, when I think about him offensively, I didn't really pay much attention to him coming out of college, but last season I was watching him as a rook, and in this season, it's obvious that his game is taking off, going the other way. He may be that third scorer that they need.
In my opinion, I think he might be the second scorer. He reminds me, I could see the Jamal Mashburn. He reminds me of a more nimble Corey Maggette, strong, operates like, crafty, athletic, but young Corey Maggette. Obviously, the older Corey got, but I'm talking like a young Corey Maggette. He got like the body type of stuff like that. I think he can accelerate. The highlight, salute to the Kings. Sasha reminds me of Peja. I don't know if his shot creation is going to develop as much on the Kings. I think he's going to kind of be remaining as a catch and shoot guy, which he's great at. I have no problem with him doing that. I did want to pose this too, and I don't know if Ox is here, but there was a trade in the trade block, and let me know if what you guys think about this, right? Is the Bulls free Zach LaVine, first of all? It's going to be Zach LaVine and Caruso for Davion Mitchell, Harrison Barnes, I think 2 picks and 2 picks. So what do you think about that? How do you think?
No.
Really?
No.
Really?
Nah, we straight text. We cool.
No.
Really? Okay.
Because
they was going to give up Kevin Herter. That's
hell nah. I'm definitely cool off that. We about to go get Pascal Siakam.
Okay.
I'm just thinking about the way the Sacramento is put together. To add a guy like Zach LaVine, don't get me wrong, I think he'd be great with De'Aaron Fox, but a catch and shoot guy like Herter, a transition shooter like Herter. Don't get me wrong. Zach LaVine, he can shoot the basketball. He can score the basketball. He gave me. I thought to be honest with you, and I was wrong about him when we've gotten as far as we got, because I thought that he could be Kobe Bryant good. I thought
the talent is there. I see why you see the talent,
the athlete and the talent. It's obvious when this isn't there, and this is the separator with a lot of guys. Because when I saw this guy in terms of an athlete, in terms of a skill set, I'm like, I think he could be the best two guard in the game. But mentally, he didn't have that drive to be the best, not the best two guard, the best player in the game. I don't think that
could have been circumstantial, though, Cho. I feel like that first stint in Minnesota and with Cat and Wiggs, I think that put a hitch in what his role was and his development. I think it took a while, and I think that was the point. I felt like if he went to a different situation and he was the man and got to go through, being the guy, I think it would have changed his outlook on how he prepared. I think the Minnesota thing kind of put a stint in his day. I just got one more thing and I'm out of here. Yep. I did want to ask, looking at the Porzingis injury, right? Obviously the Celtics they're doing their thing. Is that a cause for concern for you with Porzingis' health issues? And another thing, do you feel like they can overcome that? Whether, let's say, for example, in a playoff series, do you feel like they can overcome that in a playoff series?
I don't know if they, depending on who they play, because they're going to need him. Like I said, he's one of the best box players in the game. He's one of the best.
Like Orlando, do you think they could? Do you think that Orlando could beat them without Porzingis?
I'm with Big Ox. Big Ox said to me, if the playoffs started today and they had to see New Orleans in the first round, he would be pissed as a Sacramento Kings fan. If Boston played Orlando in the first round of the playoffs, I would be hot.
Shaking.
I would be hot behind that because I don't like that matchup at all. I don't. With KP, I like it a little bit better because again, he does a lot of things that you can't really account for. One of the better rim protectors in the game, one of the better box players in the game, can stretch the defense. He does all of those things. Without him on the floor, and you got Orlando with those young pieces, I hate that matchup. I'm not saying I love it. I'm not saying I don't like it. I hate that matchup. I'm like Big Ox. I'm in front of the TV like this. I'm pissed. Oh my God, I'm pissed.
Chill. And also, too, we have to put this fraud alert on Monty Williams. And what are you doing in Detroit? What are you doing in Detroit? Because this is looking like a chill. I'm getting frustrated watching the Detroit Pistons.
What, 13 straight? What are we, 12 straight now? Something like that?
This is 13. This is a travesty and a disgrace. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand they're young. I understand, it takes development, it takes time. But some of the substitution packets I'm not liking. I am not like it's. You know what? I'm gonna let y'all rock. Yo, it's always done to talk to chill. We're gonna get it in.
Brother.
Like the big fellas,
no doubt. Absolutely.
Edwards, man. Let's get it, man.
Sure, appreciate you, bro.
Yes. I wonder if this is a watershed year in Detroit. Like maybe this is just let's see what we got, and then next year we're gonna build on that, as opposed to this just isn't working and this isn't gonna work. That's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if this is a watershed year where, let's just see what we got, and we'll move on from here. I'm wondering if that's the case.
I don't know. I think this is the start of something good. In Orlando. I think they're on to something really good in Orlando. And I'm excited to see what happens. Real quick though, let me couple of these super chats we got in. Well, first we have a member for 4 months. I'm sorry, is Ying Twigs. Yep. Shout out Twigs. Appreciate you.
Sure.
Also Uncle Tito, been a member for 10 months. That's what's up, Uncle Tito. Uncle Tito, you know what type of uncle that is, chill. He definitely the life of the party.
Yes. If Uncle Tito ain't there, find him and get him here.
Facts.
That's who Uncle Tito is.
That's what my mom said. We about to go over to a little party thing, family thing. I'm like, well, is Uncle Tito gonna be there? And she say no. I ain't think I'm going, man.
I'm straight. Nah, if Uncle Tito ain't gonna be there, I ain't going. Nah, I'm straight.
Man. D. Wilson Cassie says, why no panel today?
We had some technical stuff that we had to deal with. we had to clean. We got some stuff that we got to clean up, and we had to talk about it today. And we'll be back tomorrow, so don't worry. We'll be back. We back in effect. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll be back on the job. We'll be back on the air, and we got to give you a better product than what we've been giving you guys. So, and we striving to do that. That was that's what the topic of conversation was today. We got to give you guys a better product than what we've been giving you, and we're going to do that.
Definitely going to do that. Let me see from Sharky HD. Mavs 8-1 in clutch, 26-29 last year. Defense is trash.
Where are the Mavs? I think the Mavs are fifth right now.
I think they're third or fourth.
Yeah. Okay. Fourth in the West, and I wonder why their defense isn't that good. What's the problem? Because they brought in Grant Williams. We all know. I'm not going to say we all know. I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I know who Luka is defensively. I know who Irv is defensively. You got a kid in Lively in the paint who's not really. He's not developed yet. He's a kid, so we don't know what we're going to get from him. And Jason Kidd is a defensive-minded coach, so this team still has some plus. This team still has some positives. I mean, they are winning games. So I had them as a play-in team primarily because the Western Conference is a nightmare, and you could go from 4th to 9th in a week. That could happen. You could have a bad week and a half, and you could basically drop out of the playoff picture. That could happen. So
yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna beat around the bush at all. I still see Dallas as a playing team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I ain't off that, Big Ox. I'm not. Yeah. I'm still on that. I think they're a playing team. No question about it.
I've said too though, especially during the offseason, like we got to respect who Luka and Kyrie are, and got to respect their ability to put that ball in the basket. Right. I also do respect Grant Williams on the defensive end, but other than that, I don't.
That's as far as I'm going.
Yeah, that's it.
That's as far as I'm going.
Yeah, but let me see. We got the man, the myth, the legend in the back. We're gonna pull him up right now. Shout out my man, Leaf Diggy.
What up? What up? What up?
What's going on? What up? Couple of it's a few things that bring joy to my heart. What happened Monday was nothing short of a restaurant quality ass whooping.
No, it was worse than that.
It was brutal. It was brutal. And I stand on what I told Chilltown weeks ago on his own show. When it comes to the top fives in the league, Anthony Davis has nothing for them. I'm gonna say it one more time for everybody in the cheap sheets. When it comes to the top fives in this league, Anthony Davis don't got a damn thing for him. 30, 11, and 11, and you mustering up 17 points, and you getting straight bullied and manhandled on both ends of the court. That's what's happening to you. He volleyballing your shots all over the place. You got Maxey running all around. LeBron James can't get to no rebounds and get no place on the court. That's what's happening.
So we can't leave out the fact that we've seen this before. So I've seen him.
We have, we have.
I seen him I seen him do this to Anthony Davis, but I've also seen Anthony Davis go 35 and 15 on him. I've seen
how long ago was that?
It wasn't that long ago. It was like 2 years ago, as a matter of fact. Yeah, it was like 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, something like that. And then
so 2 years ago, we watching the same AD? That's what
I actually think we watching a better AD than 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Let's not forget they only play each other twice a year.
That's it. That's it. It's not like they play each other. And I think we actually seeing a better AD.
As opposed to seeing Sabonis, who manhandled you, as opposed to seeing Joker, who stay manhandling you. So you ain't got to deal with Joel, you ain't got to deal with Bam and none of them other centers too much. But what I am seeing here is something that looks almost repetitive. But the thing is, I digress, because that wasn't the worst loss of the night. I can't justify what the hell happened to the San Diego Clippers. That was, I'm like, bruh, I can't remember the last time I seen DeAndre Jordan get 20 and 10 in this league. I don't think I thought he was playing for the Clippers. That's what I thought. I'm like, yo, what? Is this Lob City DeAndre? I'm like, what the fuck? He's throwing down, he's picking and rolling, getting dunked. I'm like, he's throwing down dunks with authority and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Reggie Jackson getting 35 and 10 on you. I'm like, wait, hold up. Joke is on the bench. Murray's on the bench.
We gotta put some context. We gotta put some context to it though.
Oh,
so,
please. Let me
now,
hear this.
The Denver.
I want to hear how you gonna talk your way out of this shit.
The Denver logic. I mean, there's really no context to it. I mean, both Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan, they look like Stockton and Malone out there, 2.0. That's what they do, to be honest with you. These two dudes dive into the basket. There was no real defense. Not only was there no real defense, guys that we say are defenders, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but guys that we say are defenders like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. These guys are defenders on reputation and reputation only. That's all it is. These guys don't defend at a high level anymore. Upon a
time defenders, and that's what I'm getting at with them. And I did a play-by-play last night, of course, on the this right here. I got good feedback on it. We beat the Raptors, but we ended up out of the tournament because the Chicago Bulls decided that they wanted to get beat by 30.
They wasn't going to do anything with Boston. They wasn't.
They wasn't. But at the same time, playing your starters for like 25 minutes or less, man, that kind of reads like F Brooklyn. You know, let's just get the Celtics up in there.
Or just F everybody, because I mean that's who Chicago is. The fire sale is coming, Leaf. Just so you know, the fire sale in Chicago is coming. Do not think that it's not. It's coming. The fire sale. As long as we're not part of it, I'm cool. Now, the fire sale is coming. Don't worry.
Now, I'm going around the league a bit, but Minnesota. I caught a little bit of the last of the Sacramento game, bro. I think that game was very important not because of the tournament, because they basically had to beat their fathers. And it was about damn time that they did. The Minnesota game.
Who had to beat their fathers? Who are you talking about?
Sacramento. Sacramento had to beat their daddies.
Oh, they had to beat Golden State.
Yeah, Golden State Warriors. So Minnesota, you jumping off the top rope with this Minnesota shit. You Randy Savage. You Randy Savage. All right, so let me hear this again.
I got the piece.
So I need to hear you again because I was a little bit. I had the windows open. You are on record.
Today, November 29th. Today's November the 29th. I think
Minnesota.
I think they're the best team in the Western Conference right now.
Right now.
I think they're the best team in the Western Conference. No Jaden McDaniels. They are clearly, when Rudy is playing like he played yesterday or like he's been playing throughout the season, they clearly, I don't care what the Knicks are doing. I don't care what Orlando is doing. They're the best defensive team in the game with Jaden McDaniels. No question in my mind. No doubt about that. Now, with that, you asking me to run it down for you. Okay. Now, when you're talking about a heady point guard in Mike Conley, doesn't really shoot it well a lot of times, but takes care of the basketball. It's smart. Will defend. They got great rotation players in Naz Reid, in Anderson. Great rotation players in Shake Melton, who, by the way, nobody is talking about how Philly just handed him over for a bucket of extra crispy and a six-pack.
They damn sure did. I was like,
I can't believe it.
I was looking for him to be on the roster. I'm like, what the hell?
They just handed him over. So with that being said, their front line with Rudy and Cat, this is what I envision. What I'm seeing now. The reason why we didn't see this last year, Cat missed almost 55 games last year. That's why we didn't really get any continuity with these two.
Hold up, is he still Chris Webber though?
Oh, I'm on record. He's a number one on a playoff team. He's a number two on a contender. I think he's a number three on a championship team. I'm not prepared to say he's Kevin Love. He's Chris Bosh on a championship team. That's who he is.
Okay. All right. So one more question. Now remember, I personally had the best two guard in the league to be Anthony Edwards in the next 300 days. Well, less than 300 days, I guess you could say now.
I said 2 years tops, Leaf. I didn't say 2 years.
I said next year.
I said 2 years.
By this time next season, and as far as the Jordan stuff goes, I'm laughing at that. But
let's chill out.
We're gonna chill out on that. But Anthony Edwards, I'll be hard pressed to find anybody in the league right now that has the offense and the defensive prowess that he is ascending to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and with McDaniels and with Rudy, somebody on that damn team is winning Defensive Player of the Year at this rate. Now, don't get me wrong. You still got Orlando, who's a good team defensively. We haven't really reached our stride defensively. I think we've been piss poor defensively, but I mean, not piss poor, but we've been making strides. Another team defensively.
You know how I feel about Evan Mobley.
I know how you feel about Evan Mobley, but another team defensively as a group that I think that a lot of people are sleeping on, and I think defense is going to be the main stamp of how far they go. The Sixers. The Sixers, man.
That's predicated on Joel Embiid. That's who it's predicated on. That's predicated on Joel Embiid.
Not only that, I think it's predicated on Nick Nurse and his schemes. We know.
That's why Joel Embiid looks the way he does, because of those schemes.
Of course.
For that reason right now.
Of course, but we know Nick Nurse to throw the everything in the kitchen sink. The same thing he did in Toronto, as far as defensive schemes go. Now he has the players to do it, and you one short of Kelly Oubre, who is my guy, and hopefully he come back, man, strong as ever. But I'm looking at Tobias Harris giving you consistency, Mercury Morris giving you damn threes and everything. You got Covington give you money, KJ Martin, like they putting all of these pieces to work.
You on the Sixer train? Are you on it?
Oh, Leaf, don't start this shit, bro.
Nah, Bobby, you know what? Bobby is my homie.
No, do not talk him off that train. He on it.
I gotta protect his well-being.
No. Bobby was the person that, and he got one of my favorite shorts. He said, man, listen, if I'm the Philadelphia 76ers, I get rid of Joel, I get rid of Harden, and I get rid of Doc Rivers. Now they got rid of two. The thing is, Joel is kind of getting unlocked in a way that I didn't think that it was possible. Nick Nurse, I didn't, Chilltown. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was possible. Chilltown, like Nick Nurse is unlocking a different side of him. Now, Bobby, hear me out.
Yeah.
We
gotta move on, bro.
I still got them at second round exit, but
that's fine. I'm with you on that. Second round exit. Okay, yeah. That's
typical. But it really depends. It really depends, bro.
On what? What does it depend on?
They gotta.
What does it depend on?
Like Chilltown, you the main one saying you gotta have a lot of luck to get to certain portions in the playoffs.
And what part of that luck are we talking about here? Are we talking about health?
I'm talking about a luck that you just referred to. If the Boston Celtics see Orlando, are they advancing in another round after that?
So get somebody else to deal with them.
Get somebody else to deal with the Boston Celtics. Yeah, you know how I feel about them. Yeah, and then the Milwaukee Bucks, they ain't providing a damn thing. Mm-hmm. And so who else you got? You got the Knicks? You got the Cavs? Oh, hold up. No. You got Miami.
Miami's the team to beat in the East. So
I don't. Do y'all think Philly could beat Miami?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will, but they could. They can. They should. They're not going
in the 7-game series.
I'm picking Miami.
Everybody healthy.
I have to pick Miami.
Everybody healthy. I'm picking Miami.
I'm
picking Miami in 6 games. I'm picking them in 6 games.
All right, but Leaf, we got to keep it moving. Though we got a couple more topics to touch, brother. Check in on Saturday, bro.
Mm-hmm. Salute.
All right,
salute, bro. I'll see y'all soon. Come to my podcast, man. I do a good play-by-play.
All right, bro.
All right, for sure. I actually did see that play-by-play. I stopped in last night, left a comment, liked the video, for sure. Let me see what we got right here. We got one from I'm Jedi. Book better than Spider. Oh, Spider and Ant. Y'all tripping?
No, you tripping. I'm Jedi. No, you're actually tripping. When you haven't seen. First of all, the conversation between Book and Ant, like the conversation between Book and Spider, has always been there. Always been there. And the fact that Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell has always been like this. We're talking about two guys who can score the basketball with the best of them. They both pass it at a similar rate. So Donovan Mitchell is a better athlete. I don't think that's a question. Donovan Mitchell is a better athlete. I think he's a better defender. So Devin Booker, sure, he gets on a crew that takes his team deep into the playoffs. I absolutely can get with that. But those two guys are not that far off. I think it's Devin. I think it's Spider. I think it's Donovan Mitchell. I'm gonna roll with him, but I don't think Book is that far off. But as far as Anthony Edwards, I think in the next 2 years, I think he jumps both of those guys.
Well, I'm Jedi. If you tripping, I'm tripping with you because I got Book #1 and I got Book staying #1 for the next 3 seasons. Good 3 seasons because Book's still young. DSG Piccolo. Chill. Did you see Ayton 20 and 10 versus Indiana? I need him to get the ball more in the pick and roll. Also, Jeremy Grant is a great catch and shoot shooter.
Here's the problem, Piccolo. If he could get the ball more in the pick and roll, if he actually dived to the basket, but he doesn't. I'm watching him in that offense, and he just looks like a pick. He just looks like a pick guy. He doesn't really look like a pick and roll guy. He looks like a guy who just goes to the basket and doesn't even look for the basketball. He doesn't dive. When he picks and pops, they don't look for him. And when they do look for him, he's not looking to crack that 16-footer or that 14-footer. He's not looking to do that nearly as much as he should. He just looks like he could be. The thing I'm worried about with DeAndre Ayton is that maybe I might have overrated him. Is he the franchise player that I think he is, or is he just a really good player who's a glass cleaning 17 and 9 guy? 17 and 9 guy. Is he that guy? Maybe. I'm not sure.
The jury's still out on DeAndre Ayton for me. I thought DeAndre was like that because I don't expect him. Once again, I don't expect him to be a 28 and 12 guy, but I need 22 and 9, 22 and 10. Maybe we could go 19 and 9, something like that. I think DeAndre Ayton is very capable of that, and maybe he just needs a better supporting cast with him too. Maybe that'll help him a little more. It's hard out here. We have another super chat from Ticket TV himself. Don't cap for these young bucks, and your ass still mine December 23rd. Pause.
You know what time it is. You know what time it is when I see you. You know what it is. I got my block. I got my boxing gloves, and I'm gonna knock your ass out, Ticket. Yes, I am.
Good. Appreciate the super chat though, Ticket. So, chill. There was the interview, post-game interview. Everybody saw it. Klay Thompson. He says, basically those 4 rings and the dynasty that they built, it bought them a little patience from the coach, from the media, from the fans. He also said, I don't care what these people got to say. I'm gonna play my game basically, and I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be, and I'm putting in that work to be the best me. That's what I heard from what he said. He didn't say that. That's not what he said verbatim, obviously. But you are pushing back on that, Chilltown. Are you off with Klay Thompson?
Well, number one, yes, you do care. That's why the league gives out the Defensive Player of the Year. That's why they give out the league MVP. That's why they have all NBA teams. That's why they have the All-Stars. Because you dudes care how people see you. You don't just rock. You do care how people see you. That's number one. Number two, we are expecting these guys, and 2 guys that I'm thinking about in particular, both Klay Thompson and Kawhi Leonard. We are expecting these guys to be what they used to be. That's why you keep hearing logic of Game 6 Klay. That's why you keep hearing when Kawhi Leonard is healthy. That's why you keep hearing that stuff, because we expect to keep seeing these guys for what they used to be instead of accepting who they are now. And who is Klay Thompson now? Klay Thompson now is an average 2 guard at best. That's who he is. This is not a slump that he's in. He is an average 2 guard at best. And why is he an average 2 guard at best? Because his body is failing him because of the injuries that he's sustained. He doesn't move like he used to. He does, and it's affected his shot. Not only has it affected his shot, it's affected his overall game. But because he's in Golden State, we expect to see Klay Thompson from years past. If Klay Thompson was in Toronto, you guys wouldn't be talking about him like this. You guys wouldn't be expecting to see that Klay Thompson anymore. In fact, what you would be saying is that he's over. That's what you would be saying. But the fact that he's still with Steph Curry, you're still looking for that other dude.
Right.
When in reality, he's not here anymore. That's not him anymore. And I think that we have to accept the fact that these guys are getting older. Kawhi Leonard is a prime example of that. Kawhi Leonard is known. One of Kawhi Leonard's staples was him being a defender. That was one of his staples. He was a back-to-back defensive player of the year. That's one of his staples. This season, and you know how I feel, I'm not a big fan of defensive rating. I think it's a little skewed. But
Definitely
this season, he's got his third worst defensive rating of his career. Third worst. Where his bread is buttered as an offensive player is 16 feet to the three-point line. That's where he lived. That was Kawhi's game. He's shooting a career low in that area. And the reason why he's shooting a career low in that area, he doesn't get the lift on his shot that he used to. He doesn't get the separation that he used to get. And the reason why he doesn't get this is because his body is failing him. That's why. It's not because he's in a slump or he's getting ramped up. You guys said the same thing to me last year. You guys said the exact same thing to me last year, only to find out that he breaks down in the playoffs. Because why? His body is failing him. And what we're doing is as a league, we're still pushing Leonard, Klay, James, Curry, Harden, guys like that. Meanwhile, guys like De'Aaron Fox. This guy in Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox is fantastic. Yeah. He's not a good player. This guy's fantastic. We need to see this guy more. Jason Tatum. Evan Mobley has 7 blocks last night. 7, Big Ox. I think he's the best defensive player in the game when you're talking about these young guys. And when I see these younger guys, this kid in Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, I think he's going to be the league MVP at some point.
Mm-hmm. We need to see more Anthony Edwards. We need to see more Orlando. We need to see more Indiana. Definitely.
And that's exactly where I was going, Big Ox. This kid in Indiana. This kid, Tyrese Halliburton in Indiana. 24 and 12 on 50, 40, 90. Are we serious? Meanwhile, we still sitting here talking about James being the face of the league, KD being the face of the league, Curry, guys like that.
Chris Paul still on the roster.
Chris Paul, we still talking about these guys when in reality, these young guys, we're missing out on them. And then what's going to happen is that you're going to start paying attention to Tyrese Halliburton in like year 7 or 8 when you're missing the development. And these are the guys that the league is going to be built on, right? These younger guys. So we need to be pushing guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to the front more. Minnesota needs to be on TV more. These guys, we need to see them more so you can now get more out of them.
Chill, what team, Chill? Well, no, go ahead and make that point. I'll ask you after. Go ahead.
The reason why we need to see these guys more is because this is what the league is going to be built on. It's going to be built on young guys turning into those great players. That's how Magic and Bird were as young guys. That's how Jordan, that's how Dominique was. That's how Kobe Bryant and Shaq and Penny Hardaway, that's how these guys were, right? And now the fact that we have the multimedia that we have, these guys, we have access to them because you got League Pass, you got TNT, you got ESPN, you got all of these media outlets where we can see these guys more. We need to be pushing these guys. That's why the in-season tournament has been as successful as it is. So guys like Banchero, you can see him more. And these guys need to be put on the forefront more because these other guys are going to be these young guys are going to be around way longer than these older guys. Way longer.
Yeah. So right here says Cleveland only has 9 nationally televised games.
9, Big Ox. They got a dude on their team that's averaging 28 a game and arguably the best defensive player in the league on their team, and they're only on TV 9 times.
Well, Indiana, you know how many Indiana has?
4. 4. They got
Dallas has 30. Golden State has 42, and the Clippers have 32.
Meanwhile, Indiana got arguably the best distributor in the game on their crew, and they on TV 4 times this year. Big Ox, 4. If you got a guy that good on your team, and you got this kind of talent around the league, you need to have more parity when it comes to
Oklahoma City and Orlando both have 4
games. Oklahoma City needs to be on TV more. They're not on TV nearly as much as they should be. This kid, Jalen Williams, is fantastic. Chet is the future of basketball. This kid, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's going to be a top 10 player barring any injuries. What is he? I think he's 25, Big Ox, something like that. I think he's 20. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think he's 25,
26.
Barring any major injuries, he's going to be a top 10 player. He's going to be a top 10 player for the next 8 years.
Chill. You know how many nationally televised games we have? The Kings?
6.
5.
Meanwhile, you got a glass cleaner in Sabonis, who's also 26, 27, and you got this kid Fox, who's 26 years old, and he's fantastic. And you got this young kid in Keegan Murray and a damn good coach in Mike Brown. Sacramento needs to be on TV more than they are.
My thing is, last year we were the 3 seed. We had two All NBA performers. First only have 5 nationally televised games. It just further proves what I say, Chilltown. The NBA hates Sacramento. Like, the NBA despises Sacramento, and I don't know why. We got good fans. We're a loyal team. They should love us. We're good. When we're good, the NBA is better.
I do agree with that. And these guys, like I said, like Kawhi Leonard, I don't think that he's over. I don't think he's going to be in the league in 2 years because I don't think his body's going to hold up. But guys like Klay Thompson,
I'm not ready for that shit.
I know you're not, Big Ox, but unfortunately, it's the reality of the situation. His body's been breaking down for the last 4 or 5 years. We've seen it. We saw him tear his knee up 2 years ago and miss a whole season. Then last year we saw him in the playoffs, missed the entire playoffs because he tore his knee up again. So this is happening right before us. We're going to get stretches from Leonard where he's still good. But the guy that we saw in 2019, the guy that we saw who was first team All-NBA in 2021, that guy is no longer, because physically he can't hold up. Same logic with Klay Thompson. I keep hearing, Game 6 Klay. Game 6 Klay Thompson. We ain't seen that dude since 2019. Well, he had a good Game 6 last year against Memphis. 1 game. 1.
Chill. What I want to ask you is, and I haven't pulled up in another tab if you want me you remind you of any games. What team do you think of the teams that are on a lot of national team games? Who should we see much less of?
Who should not be on TV as much as they're on TV?
Exactly.
Who shouldn't be on TV that much? I don't think the Lakers should be on TV as much as they are, Big Ox. I don't. I understand who James is. I understand, and anybody knows me knows I'm a James guy. But I don't think the Lakers should be on TV as much as they are. I understand what it means for the league.
They got 39, Chill. They got 39 games on national television. We got 5.
That means almost half of their games are on national television. Almost half of their games are on national television. So teams like, I feel like the Lakers are a team that shouldn't be. I ain't saying that they shouldn't be on TV at all, because I feel like, they still have a lot to offer. But there's no way that a team like Sacramento, right? A team like Oklahoma City, there's no way that a team like Oklahoma City with the young talent, there's no way a team like Sacramento with 2 All-NBA performers, with the TV exposure that the NBA has today, there's no way that they should only have 5. Big Ox, I don't know how your math work. That's one game a month. 1.
Wait, Chill. Who approves this? Like, isn't there like a meeting about this? Don't the owners get to, and our owner got money. You know what I'm saying? Not to say the other owners don't got money. I know they do, right. But he came over here with billions of dollars,
Right.
I know he could, grease some palms or something. Like, how does this happen? How do the Lakers get 39? There's teams like Philly, Miami got a bunch of games. Minnesota got 18.
Now, remember who we talking about, Ox. We still talking about one of the faces of the league in LeBron James. And LeBron James, he attracts traffic. He attracts traffic. So I understand having him on TV. And on top of him attracting traffic, he's still fantastic as a player. But Big Ox, Jabbar was fantastic as a player in 1986. But he was slowing down. And there's no way for me to dictate when it's going to happen. But eventually this is going to come to an end. And it's going to come to an end sooner than it is for Jason Tatum. It's going to come to an end sooner than it is for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's going to come to an end sooner than it is for Tyrese Halliburton or Evan Mobley and guys like that. It's going to come to an end sooner. So in preparing for this end, which is coming sooner than later, you might want to put these guys in the forefront a little bit more. I know that you guys want to milk it because, again.
Oh, wait, my bad. I'm tripping, Chilton. Somebody just pointed that out to me. Oh, my bad. This was last year's.
This year I'm talking about. How many games does Sacramento have on national television this year? It's a playoff team last year. It was the top 3 seed.
Got you. I got you.
They got to have more than 4 games. They have to.
I'm happy somebody said that because now that I think about it, that's crazy. I was about to say that's insane.
They got to have more than 4 games. They have to. Absolutely.
Okay, here's this year's. Okay, good looking, chat. My bad, y'all.
They got to have more. They have to have more than 4 games. That doesn't make much sense. Even though I said 4.
Oh, okay, yeah, we got a bunch of games. Yeah, we do. Right. We got 20. We stepped our game up. We in there with the mediocre. We got 22 now. So the Spurs got 19. Yeah, the Spurs got 19.
And I understand why the Spurs. I do understand what the Spurs. Yeah. Yes, I understand.
The Lakers got 40 though. The Lakers got 40. Right. That's still too much. So I have my numbers wrong. I ain't look at the right year. Yeah. But 40 is still way too much. They need to give us some of them games.
And I think that they need to spread them out, not just with you guys. How many nationally televised games does Phoenix have this year?
Phoenix, they have like 30 something, or whether it's alphabetical order. They got 37. They got 37
nationally televised games. And like I said, guys like they still got a young guy on their crew in Devin Booker, who's still awesome, 100%. Yeah. But they got an older guy in KD who KD's still a face. KD's still one of the faces of the league at 35 years old, but he's been breaking down. Over the last 4 years. He's been breaking down. He's shown that he can play in stretches. He's shown that. He's shown that he's still got the goods. Can he hold up though?
Yeah.
And as time goes on.
Indiana only has 6, Chilltown, and the Magic only have 5.
Now, Indiana only got 6 games because they didn't make the playoffs last year. I get that. But the league would recognize that a guy in Tyrese Halliburton has this team. I think they're in the top 5 this year, right? So because they're in the top 5, maybe we need to flex some of these games. They're in dogfights with Milwaukee, right? They had a great game against Atlanta a couple of nights ago that I had to catch on League Pass. Like that game should have been on TV. The game against Milwaukee, nationally televised game. It wasn't I had to catch that game on League Pass. That game should have been on TV, national television. So these guys need to be pushed to the forefront more. I understand the economics of the game, Big Ox. Where are the eyes? Where are the eyes going? The eyes are going to LeBron James, to Kevin Durant. Even though the game, I don't think the game is past these guys, but I think these younger guys are going to be around way longer. So we need to start making that transition. We need to start making that transition to these younger guys. Because if we make that transition into these younger guys, it would be a lot smoother. Very similar to when Jordan retired. So when Jordan retired, even though I might not have been ready emotionally, there was still Ray Allen. There was still Kobe Bryant. LeBron James had showed up. Vince Carter was in the league. Tracy McGrady. So the transition wasn't as bad as opposed to Jordan just left and, oh my God, what are we going to do? We had already seen these guys.
Right.
So we have to, I feel like they have to start making that transition.
Yeah. Insane. Let me see. We have. Oh, wait, no, you got that one. We got this one from Nan600. Book a better passer and defender than Mitch. Stop.
You stop, because you wasn't saying that last season. You was not saying that last season when he was running with Chris Paul. No, you were not. You were not saying that last season when he was running with Chris Paul. And where was that defense when they got smoked out the playoffs against Dallas? So don't hand me that. I'm not sitting here saying that Donovan Mitchell is an all-world defender, because I don't think he is an all-world defender, even though he came into the league as a defender. But let's stop talking like Devin Booker clears him as a passer, clears him as a defender. Because no, he doesn't. No, he does not. That's just not true.
Let me see. Right. KB, what up? You still there?
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on, fam?
All right. So, what's up, Chill? Last time I was here, we was talking about Bam and Mobley. That's not what I'm here for. Did y'all see the Heat versus Bucks game?
I watched it.
What do you think of the end of that game? I was pissed off. Not because we lost, but because how bad the officiating was.
What bothered you the most?
The officiating. It was just disgusting.
And what about it?
For example, the tech on Eric Spoelstra. There's no way they call that. He did the traveling motion, they called a tech on him. And then that gave, and Dame just got fouled, so he goes to the free throw line for 2, plus a tech, plus 3, puts the Bucks up 5. In the heat of the game.
We had a one-possession game before that, by the way.
Yeah, one-possession game.
It was a one-possession game.
That game was incredible.
Right.
And then, boom, the ref said, up, moving your hands, up tech. Like, what is we doing? Like,
I think the problem that we have is don't get me wrong. To call a tech like that and that juncture of the game when we got a one-possession game, that's a big deal. But Spo is one of those coaches where he get in your ear and Spo gets to yapping.
I mean, I don't blame him. Did you like that game was some of the worst officiating I ever saw. Like the foul they called on Bam with Giannis on that turnaround fade, and you look at the replay, the refs right there. Bam's not even close to him. Giannis kick his legs out and kick Bam in the leg. They call a foul on Bam. Like I'm like, what is we doing?
And then they pass on Bam going to the basket. He got around Giannis and tried to put it up with his right hand, and Giannis swung at it, and they didn't give Bam the foul on that.
Like, oh my God. I'm sitting here watching this game, and then did you see when Giannis traveled and even like the
that was clearly a travel. 100% that was a travel.
And then the broadcaster's like, oh my God, that's a travel. They ain't called nothing.
Right. That part I won't argue.
Triple J did a move. Jaime Jaquez Jr. did a move. They call it a travel. I'm like, y'all call that? But all the time Giannis has traveled in this game, y'all don't call nothing? What is we doing?
The thing that I paid attention to was I paid attention to Dame defensively. That's what I was looking at. Like a lot of people were watching, Dame went 32-6. And so we're in the middle of the third quarter. Josh Richardson is coming down the gut. Yeah. Josh Richardson is coming down the gut. He's being covered by let's see who was covered. Middleton is covering him. Dame is dealing with Kyle Lowry, right? Dame is dealing with Kyle Lowry. Brook Lopez is on the right box. So Kyle Lowry runs through the lane. Josh Richardson is coming down the gut. Problem is Dame helps off Kyle Lowry to slow down Josh Richardson, which is not his responsibility. That's what the big man is for. The big man was there. He loses sight of Kyle Lowry. He don't even know Kyle Lowry is over here. He's turning over here. Kyle Lowry is at the three-point line, cracking the long ball, wide open. So then 2 plays later, it wasn't 2 plays. That's not true. It was a couple of plays later. Dame is in a pick and pop situation where Kyle Lowry, he didn't even go set the screen. He just went over like he was going to set the screen and slip. What does Dame do? Even though Brook Lopez is right behind him, Dame shows on Josh Richardson, which is not his responsibility. Kyle Lowry pops to the corner, another long ball. KB, this is the stuff that's going to bite them.
Oh,
because
God.
coaches see this kind of stuff. He's lost defensively. His defensive principles are completely out of whack. This is the stuff that's going to bite them come playoff time.
So
this
like we lost,
not going to be able to make up for it. It's
like
not.
we lost the game, but like I'm sitting here thinking to myself, we're missing 3 starters. If Jimmy and Tyler, especially Tyler, people talk about we should trade Tyler, Stop it, you're idiotic. Bucks play a drop defense. Tyler Hero excels versus drop defense. If you remember the first time they played this year, they didn't have
KB. Tyler wasn't playing last night either.
No buckets last night. No Tyler.
No Jimmy. No Tyler. No.
I know Jimmy wasn't playing, but
no, he's still injured.
The Bucks not like that.
Frauds. I'm not scared of them, bro. Like the first time that he played, Bam wasn't playing. He had a hip injury. He's been suffering that all season.
Yeah.
And what did Tyler Hero do? 35 was giving them buckets. Why?
Homeless 35. Take that with you.
Yeah, like they going under the screen. Like, he's open 3. I'll take that. He was frying them. So I'm looking at this game like, all right, we don't have Tyler Hero. We don't have Jimmy Butler, and they got saved by the refs. Come on now. Bam Adebayo was on a mission last night. What did you think of that defensive possession when Dame tried to ISO him? Put the clamps on him
with Bam. Listen, I wasn't even. I mean, we can talk about that possession. There is no world where
you look at Bam like, oh yeah, that's easy.
Right. There's no world where I'm asking for the basketball with Bam covering me.
People forget like, he's a center. He can't guard point guards. You're mistaken. This man, Dame, was doing all that dribbling and go nowhere.
That's why they smoked Atlanta in the playoff. That's why they smoked Atlanta in the playing game 2 years ago, because the same thing that Cleveland got tripped up with. Now you got a more athletic version of Jared Allen, or they didn't have Evan Mobley yet, but now you got a more athletic version of what Jared Allen was trying to do, chasing Trae Young off screens, chasing Trae Young. I remember that series,
man.
All of a sudden, he doesn't look that good. So now you got Damian Lillard, one of the most dynamic scorers in the game, with a dude 6 inches taller than him, 7 inches taller than him, and can keep up with him. Get off the pill, yo. Get off the pill.
I'm like my thing is with the Heat, people like I remember I watched that little series reviewing all the teams, and I saw people disrespecting the Heat, like, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. People have this idea that the Heat's a bad team because of players. No, the reason why the Heat often not high in the standing is not because of players, it's because of health. The Miami Heat is always injured, and it breaks my heart because every time I get ready to watch the Heat game, I set my day up. I wake up, I'm like, oh yeah, about to watch the Heat, then I get an alert. This player's not playing. Bro, what? Like, there's no way.
Not this season. Not maybe this season. Not last year.
No, yes, last year as well. Jimmy Butler was hurt a lot. Tyler Hero was hurt a lot.
First of all, Jimmy Butler played 64 games last year.
Here's the thing, though.
That's the amount of games that he's played over the last 8 years.
No. I hear you.
Bam played 77 games last year.
I know. Listen,
Tyler Hero.
I hear you. I hear you. But there's games that we shouldn't lose because players are missing. For example, the biggest one last year was versus the Wizards. We had 7 active players on the roster. We had to go pick up players from the local G League team.
Yeah, from the G League roster. Yeah.
No, not ours. From a random G League team because we was in town. There's no Jimmy, no Bam, no Hero, no Duncan Robinson, no Max Strus, no Gabe Vincent, no Victor. We had nobody. It was Kyle Lowry and the G League team. And we played games like that and we lose. And it just hurts because it hurts our record. We shouldn't have lost to the Spurs last year. We shouldn't have lost to the Orlando Magic last year.
Well, KB, let's keep it focused on staying healthy this year and not losing to the
It's not looking good already.
Yeah, we'll do. All right, y'all will be all right though. But we got to keep it moving, okay, KB. We appreciate you. Yeah, we got to keep it moving, okay, KB. We appreciate you pulling up, fam.
Absolutely, brother. Good to talk to you. No doubt.
Right, next time.
Good to talk to you.
Yeah, chill. I think Miami. I think they believe it's sweet up in Milwaukee. I don't think Miami fears Milwaukee at all.
Which I understand that because you figure Milwaukee won the championship in 21, and they've beaten them. They beat them last year. Let's see, in the last 4 years they played them in the playoffs. They beat them twice. So of course. Right, so of course they're looking at them like that. I understand that, but losing Drew Holiday is huge for that defense. Damian Lillard is going to get exposed defensively. Last night was evidence of that. Last night was definitely evidence of that.
And that's why I think Miami thinks it's even more sweet than they did before. Like you guys, y'all gave up Drew.
Mm-hmm.
How y'all? I mean, hey, we'll see. But I'm telling y'all, like I said it earlier. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard me say it earlier. In this offseason. Once they made that trade, I'm like that just stunk. That sunk your franchise. And Dame's a heck of a player, but that's no way. Let me see what we got here from Splash God. Splash God. Chill definitely doesn't know who Kyrie is defensively.
Yes,
if you think he's bad, you either hate him or you don't understand what you're watching.
Oh, absolutely. The effort that Kyrie will give you some effort. But if you watch Kyrie Irving defensively, he's not very good defensively. So I know what I'm watching when I watch Kyrie Irving. No, he is not very good defensively. Simply of continuous effort. He'll give you effort initially, and then that's it. So no, I ain't buying that. Nope. At all.
Okay. Well, I do got a couple of guys left in the back. Unfortunately, y'all fellas, we have reached the end of the show. Can't go over today. But y'all catch us on Saturday though. Catch us on Saturday. Y'all make sure I get on that link. Make sure to get y'all up first.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, another great show, Chilltown.
Yes, sir. Put a suit on. Call your mother. Don't forget to call your mother. Don't drink and drive. Drink some water. And
sure.
Love yourself. And until then, take it light. Take it.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Easy.
See y'all Saturday.
Be easy. Yes, sir, big eye.